one to avenge them. Me! I'm going to defeat you!
Alright, quick video today. I just wanted to test a small thing related to melee weapons. So what I have here, okay, let's see. What I have here, this is a Za. This is a, what is it? It's a Sikala Ulfa Vargit Tujai. I can't say Vargit Tujai without an accent. It's got a riven on it. We're gonna go over it. It's actually quite easy to obtain a riven for a Za. We're gonna go over this in a minute, and rolling it is quite easy too. All you need is either crit chance or crit damage, and then either melee damage or, you know, some not negative. Like, this is pretty good. This only took me 30 rolls, which is like not much. Actually, it probably took me only about 10 rolls. I probably bought it at like 20 rolls from some guy for 50 platinum. This is an Exodia Contagion focused Za. It's actually quite a good melee weapon. Just swinging it. It doesn't have prime reach, but it is quite fast, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways, what we're going over is this as good or better than a Glaive Prime for general use? Now, these are level 165 Exo Gok stat officers. Some of the tankiest enemies in the game. Tankier than anything you're going to find on the Steel Path for about 2-3 hours. So one little tutorial that a lot of people actually don't know about is you can heavy attack Exodia Contagion. Like, this is a light attack version. If you are, let me get Mesmer Skin so I don't stun myself. If you are in a heavy attack animation, whether that is a heavy slam or just a heavy attack animation, if you're in one of those animations, when the contagion projectile hits an enemy or the ground, it will turn it into a heavy attack version of Contagion. Oh yeah, side note, I learned how to do the heavy attack Exodia Contagion from one smaller, not smaller, he's quite bigger than me, but a smaller in comparison to bigger people, a person named Tanner Lindbergh on YouTube. Go check him out. He's funny sometimes. He makes some very strong builds. He told me to call him a big, dumb, stupid retard. Those are his words, not mine. But he's okay with me saying that. Go subscribe to him, and also me, though. Okay, thanks, bye. So this is a regular version. As you can see, it like crits and an orange crits. But my heavy attack is ×2 crit chance from my Riven, right? So that would force it to be a red crit, potentially. If I could heavy attack Contagion, like so. So that's how you do that. So I double jump, throw it, slide, and then hit the heavy attack button. Or you can just hit the heavy attack button without sliding. It's a little bit easier, but you are, you know, forcing yourself to do a melee slam. So I'm gonna just do that, and 2 of them absolutely kills these things. I just fucked it up. If you slide too early, you'll do a spin attack and it'll lock you out of the heavy attack. If you practice this for 2 minutes, you'll be able to get it down, no problem. And one thing I also like to do is I'll throw it and heavy attack into the enemy, so it just counts as fucking 2 hits like that. Although I missed, but like that. You'll hit the enemy twice. So it's pretty good. So like, let's see if I actually don't like fuck around for a minute, how fast I can like kill all 20 of these enemies. Alright, and I'm gonna play back in the video recorder how long that was from like the first strike to the last one that killed the last enemy. So what we're comparing this to is the Glaive Prime. Now the Glaive Prime, this is a much different nature of damage of killing enemies. This is based on slash procs instead of like the raw crit damage that the Exodia Contagion does. Same build, or same test, different build. No Riven on this because you really don't need one. We're gonna see from the first throw to the last one. Also, these Horrendo's viral procs really aren't gonna make a difference because of the slash procs just You can percentile damage, don't worry about that. I didn't feel like taking them off. And go. Alright, so that definitely felt a lot faster. So yeah, I'm gonna time that from the glaive to Monado Potentia. That's what I named it. So what I'm trying to figure out is like when would this fall off, because these enemies are so much tankier than what you would actually find in the Steel Path. And Contagion's explosion range is, as far as I can tell, almost, or if not exactly the same as the glaive. And if you're not doing the heavy attacks, you can actually do Exotic Contagion much faster. Let me see. You know what? We're gonna do another test. I'm gonna not do the heavy attacks at all, and just spam the light attack versions, which are slightly weaker, but they come out so much faster. So go. Oops, I fucked that one up. Did one heavy attack by accident. It's force habit. But yeah, this is definitely slower, killing these much tankier enemies than the Glaive Prime. Oops. Alright, I'm fucking it up, but this is definitely slower than Glaive Prime. Point is, these enemies being tankier than what you would find on the Steel Path are definitely like the damage has fallen off of Monado Potentia. So what I'm gonna do I have Kuva heavy gunners? Yes. Okay. Level 125. You'd want what is it? It's like level 135. This would be the equivalent of what you would actually find at the very beginning of Steel Path Kuva Fortress Survival on Tovoni. At about like whatever level they start at, I think. And last time I was told about the scaling of the Steel Path. This has a lot more promise. These are not even the heavy attack ones. So yeah, you can see the difference of like how tanky an Exocox that is. So let's take that, what I just did, and that was like not even a very good run, versus what the Glaive Prime can do to these same enemies. Yeah. So, in terms of large area clear, if Monado Potentia can one-shot the enemies, it is exactly the same as the Glaive Prime, but it comes out faster. The problem with that is that if it doesn't one-shot anything, the Glaive's slash procs will do a much better job. So it's at the point that Contagion damage falls off even with this Riven. It's at that point where it becomes worse than a Glaive Prime. Otherwise, it's just a faster way to get into the same amount of damage. So the main contention, this being a slightly lower damage than the Glaive Prime over like a large survival time. I said this was going to be a short video, it's already like 8 minutes. The main contention is that this is just universes better for things like Acolytes or Liches or anything that's not an Archon. This absolutely shreds an Acolyte where the Glaive Prime does like kind of mediocre damage. I'm gonna see if I can just do 2 little quick 5-minute survivals and find an Acolyte with both of these melee weapons and just shove a clip in here, and we'll see which one is more impressive, let's say. So I'll shove those clips in here and I'll have my conclusion after that. Okay, so coming back from both of those runs, I think we can clearly tell that the glaive was a sore loser in that fight. Now, you know, it didn't do badly, but it definitely took more than literally just one little tap, you know? So, at the point where Contagion falls off, it is going to be very, very long. I'm talking several hours into a survival or a disruption or whatever before an Acolyte scales past this and the slash procs from a Glaive Prime will outperform Contagion. So, what do we have? We have the three criteria here. There's like the damage of Contagion versus the Glaive's heavy throw against normal enemies, like level 135 Kuva Gunners. There is the point of contention about both of those things versus Acolytes, where the Za wins out. But there's a third criteria I wanted to mention about, hey, what if we just swing the melee weapon, man? Look at how good this weapon is. These enemies are primed with 10 viral procs, but this, I assure you, does not matter. Let's make sure it doesn't matter by getting rid of Harindo real quick. Let's kill these enemies. Just use it as a normal melee weapon. Although it doesn't have prime reach, it is quite fast and just fucking destroys enemies that are of level. Like, this is actually insane. No build-up required, no status abuse. This is just all raw damage, baby. Like, you get the idea. That's very good, right? Now if we spawn them again, let's take the Glaive Prime and do that same thing. This thing is very slow. You move around a lot. It is pretty good damage. It has some of its like heavy attack version throws in its combos, but they don't count as heavy attacks. You don't get all the mod bonuses, so they're not as strong. But they are very big in area, but like you can see how much more awkward and shitty this is to use if you wanted to actually use this. And also, like, I'm accidentally getting heavy attacks just by not spamming E fast enough because the weapon's attack speed is too slow. Now I could build a second build for light attacks on the Glaive, but why? Why would I do that? The Za doesn't have a second build. So the only difference, the only advantage that the Za has is the Riven. But here's the thing I wanted to bring up. Where would you put a Riven on this? And also, what stats would you put on it? Because you're not going to get a Riven with all this toxin damage. You're not going to get a Riven of heavy attack wind-up speed, or Vault Quick Return is an entire mod of things that a Riven can't provide, and Killing Blow, and Corrupt Charge. Well, you can't get initial combo on a Riven, but my point is, like, the Glaive is pretty much a solved build. Like, this is just... a Riven would only replace the one mod of a stat, right? Like, you could get a Riven that says 165 toxin. I don't think its disposition is that high to even get a number that big. Or you could get a Riven that just says, like, you know, initial combo and then replace Corrupt Charge. And then it's like, what, you gain 50% combo duration and nothing else? Like, there's nowhere to put a Riven on here. You could get one with, like, initial combo and base damage, and then what would you replace Prime Pressure Point with? You'd probably just keep it and just have the extra base damage for the slash procs. Like, a Riven is not going to help a Glaive Prime in the same way that it helps out a Za. Now, a Riven is, like I said, an advantage that this weapon has over the Glaive, but I'm going to now take you to a magical, mystical land known as Warframe.market. Let me see if this just shows up. Oh yeah, okay, hold on. Let me just get to this website because I don't know what the fuck's gonna show up on my browser. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let me get this over here. We're gonna go to the contracts button. I'm not logged in. You don't have to make an account. You don't have to do anything. Weapon name. Whatever ZA that you have. Sort by direct sale, price, ascending, search. 25 platinum, you could get this. I paid 50 for mine. 25 plat, 40 plat, 45, 50. It doesn't matter what's on them, you just roll them for good things anyway. You roll them yourself, right? Like Kuva's not hard to come by, especially if you're doing Steel Path, Kuva Survival. You pick one of these up, you roll it like the 10 times like I said, and I got this, or this. Point is, acquiring a specific ribbon is not difficult these days, and even if you don't want to spend any platinum at all, let me show you this. Now that we're here in the relay, we're going to fast travel to my man Teshin, and Steel Path Honors, bam! Get one yourself. I don't have very much Steel Essence, I spent it all today on adapters, but bam! Get yourself one of these yourself. Open it up. I'm sure whatever strike that it's for is going to be good enough for a Contagion. The only one that, like, sucks ass for Contagion is the Rab V. Or the, is it the Rab V? I'm pretty sure it's the Rab V. Like, you can look up a guide on the optimal ZA setup. Mine is kind of optimal for this hybrid build where I'm, like, doing light attacks in addition to throwing the Contagions. If you're going to go full hard into like the parts that are specifically only to make Contagions projectile better, it's only like 10% more damage than if you did what I'm doing with this one. Once again, that's the Ultha Sikala Vargit Tujai, and you know, if you have 25 platinum, 40 platinum, 50 platinum, it's free real estate really. Like the ZAs are really kind of the only weapon in the game where I would comfortably recommend you get yourself a Riven for it, because they're just so easy to fucking, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be a perfect Riven, you don't need these specific stats, you just get like something like melee damage, something like crit damage, something like crit chance, you know, a good crit based Riven like that, and you'll do fine, you'll do exactly what I'm doing. So anyway, that's this video. I just wanted to compare Exodia Contagion against the Glaive Prime. They're both great, and they're both great for different things, but Contagion is what I've been using lately for bosses like Acolytes and such. So anyway, thank you. I'm Zarkator. See you out on the Star Chart, Tenno.